I feel like before we get started, I need to actually just show you a little bit of the ungar-holing that has happened. And why does all that matter? It's not to talk about this space necessarily, but remember, I'm doing the whole 30-day shred as part of an experience in transformation because I'm in the middle of some new season. So I'm Chad, I'm a pastor in Louisiana, and I'm trying to read the Bible in 30 days. And that's a little bit tougher than I thought, but thankfully it's trucking along. And so over the weekend, let me see how much I read, because I didn't do a video. And I, for the most part, kept up. I've had to do a little bit of like all aboard the hustle bus with it, but I've been keeping up. So let me look and see exactly where all it is I've read since we met last. And it's been a bunch. So I have done all of Deuteronomy. I've done all of Joshua, Judges, and Ruth, and a decent amount of 1 Samuel. So that's a lot of ground to cover. And what I want to talk about today really is something I learned on YouTube, something I'm learning as I'm trying to get this office together, but also something I'm learning as I read scripture like this. Now, I've got to tell you, I've actually tried to do the 30-day shred before. It was in 2020, right when the pandemic was starting, right when the stay-at-home orders happened, and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna get to be at home for a couple of days, maybe a month. Let's make the most of this time and let's do this. You know, little did I know that everything was going like absolutely cray-cray at the time, and so this wasn't the best time to try 30-day shred. But I'm not a stranger to longer Bible reads. I don't know how many times I've done the 90-day Bible. I actually have a podcast conversation with my friend Aaron Mansfield, who I used to pastor with. He was my pastor. I was his intern, understudy, whatever. I'm going to link that down below me in the show notes if you want to listen to that, because this dude is a riot. And he's the one who got me reading the Bible in big chunks fast. In fact, he's on a place now where he does 20 chapters a day and goes through the Bible multiple times. I think it was early 2020, maybe 2019. He read the whole Bible in 17 days one time. Anyway, you can go and hear that interview at that podcast link that's down below. But this isn't my first time doing big, huge reads. But I'm officially longer into the 30-day shred than I lasted the last time and the first time I tried it. But this is what I learned about it from YouTube. So I love a YouTube channel. It's a guy, his name's Jimmy DiResta. And he's a maker. He builds things. And he's had a couple of television shows. He's been on television shows. I think I heard one time that he famously got in a fist fight with Ty Pennington on the set of Trading Spaces his first week that he worked there, and he got fired after that. Anyway, the guy builds stuff. And it was really his channel that got me into the YouTube as a platform and not just silly cat videos. But Jimmy DiResta has this thing that he will say a lot in his videos, is that the first time you do anything, you're gonna go to school on it. And you know, the second time you do it, it might be kind of uncomfortable, but you begin to get a feeling. But like the third time you do something, you know what you're doing. You know how to do it. So I've been building all of these massive bookshelves behind me. I still have more bookshelves to build. Let me tell you what, the first one took me probably an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 20 minutes to build, because I was just trying to unpack it and not keep styrofoam everywhere and find the tools and all that kind of stuff. You know, by the time I put the last one together, I think the 7th one, I could do it in 15 minutes. I had gotten used to, I could modify the instructions. I knew what order to do things in. I knew what I needed, what I didn't need, all those sorts of things. And so when I'm doing the shred right now, it's different because I've read the Bible before. I've read the Bible plenty. But now it's happening at this pace, but also with this understanding level that's really, really different from what I'm used to. So for example, I did a deep read of Deuteronomy just a few years back. In fact, let me go see if I can find my Bible from the Deuteronomy read. I've showed it on the channel before, but let me just go see. Yep, I got it. But here's the thing. The way I engage Deuteronomy in this Bible, and I'll open up and just kind of show you what a little bit of that looks like, was drastically different than I engaged Deuteronomy this weekend. But I was seeing things, and what I'm seeing so far in the shred is the humanization of these people. And for Moses, like I talked in the last video about what it means to read, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, is this big, huge, giant story that's kind of happening on layers with each other. Deuteronomy, it doesn't jump around. It's just kind of right there at the very end. In many ways, it's Moses' last words. It's his last sermon. And he's trying to kind of draw up everything that Exodus, Leviticus, and Numbers touched on. Or inside of Judges, or the story of Joshua, like I'm seeing the humanity of people because I'm reading this so fast. I'm reading it like a newspaper article or like a story, or like the way I might read something, like just kind of, it's a different thing. But I'm going to school on it now because I've read this before. I've done this before. I'm seeing this, and it's working, and it's happening in some different ways. So that's where I'm going right now. Tomorrow I'm going to talk. I'm kind of lost on where I am as far as y'all are concerned. I need to sit down and just figure that out. But tomorrow I want to kind of talk about encountering some of the gnarly bits in Judges and in the book of Ruth and in 1 Samuel. Some of the ways that's just kind of hitting at you when you're reading books like this. So until then, I'm Chad. I'm a pastor. I'm reading the Bible in 30 days. And thanks for coming along and hanging out as part of this journey.